Hello, everyone. Happy May. Wow, the day, it's still light out and it's 8:30 p.m. here in Toronto. And I'm so excited because it's probably the most perfect time to start talking about kidney-friendly barbecues. So, my name is Emily Campbell. I am a registered dietitian and certified diabetes educator, and I am the host here in Kidney Support Nutrition Recipes and Tips for CKD. And I just want to start off by saying thank you for being part of this community of almost 3,000 people. And what's most wonderful about it is we're all here to learn and share and grow together and improve our kidney health. And I started this group and I started working as a dietitian in private practice because if you've ever been told you had kidney disease and you start to Dr. Google things, it can be really confusing out there. And so I'm here to help you overcome that confusing world of nutrition and find foods that help you preserve your kidney function, foods that you enjoy eating, but then also things that taste really good. So I think that as a dietitian, I love food first and foremost, and that is definitely why I continue to do these live sessions and continue to work with many of my patients, not just here in Canada, but also through my group program all over Canada. So thank you again for being here. I'm really excited to be chatting a bit about tonight's topic, kidney-friendly barbecues. And I love this conversation and this topic because one of the questions I often get from individuals with kidney disease is that, they feel like they can't go to some of these of their favorite events or to attend things with friends and family. And 'tis the season for some of those barbecues and events. And I think certainly the long weekend is coming up here in Canada, and definitely want to give you that information about how to continue to stay on track with your diet, but also feel really, really confident, because barbecues and cookouts, they're kind of quintessential of the summer. And with these longer days, we're definitely getting really close to having those barbecues. So let's talk a little bit about trying to go to barbecues when you have kidney disease and think about some of the foods that we can eat. So whenever I think about barbecues, the first thing that comes to mind is protein, right? And of course, when we have kidney disease, we really want to be focusing on more of those plant-based proteins over animal-based proteins. This can be really helpful from a kidney perspective because not only is it easier for our kidneys to filter, but it's also better in terms of our acid-base balance of our body, and also can help with our blood pressure. So instead of those animal-based proteins that we might typically have, try things like tofu or tempeh or seitan. Maybe you do a tofu burger, or you do, grilled tofu skewers. Perhaps you try grilling a veggie burger with something like black beans or chickpeas, or even doing like a portobello mushroom burger with a bit of cheese, as opposed to doing things like animal proteins. If you are having animal proteins, remember, try to aim for that small portion, kind of that size of our palm, and make sure we're having lots of vegetables and fruits as well to help keep us full and satisfied, because that's what protein does. It keeps us really full. One question I often get about vegetarian sources of protein, especially around barbecue season, is those like prepackaged burgers, things like that, or more of the convenience items like plant-based burgers or Beyond Meat sort of things. My one concern with them are that they can have quite a lot of sodium in them. So just making sure that you're taking a look at the label and also looking for added phosphorus. So certainly making things at home, like making your own bean burger, that can help to control the sodium, but that might not always be the case. Another thing, when I think about barbecues and cookouts, is I often get concerned about sodium, because sometimes a lot of sauces or condiments or marinades can have quite a bit of sodium in them. So try to look for lower sodium options. So look for like lower sodium buns or lower sodium salad dressings, things like low sodium potato chips or tortilla chips that are like no added salt. And then be mindful of which condiments you're choosing, right? So things like mustard or ranch, barbecue sauce, ketchup, these can have some sodium in them. So trying to look at some of those lower sodium options. Remembering that low in sodium is generally less than about 140 milligrams per serving, or 5%. There are so many low sodium barbecue sauces out there, or using even things like garlic infused olive oil or red wine vinegar and olive oil to make a salad dressing. Be a really nice addition too. And then, our balanced plate, right? We always want to make sure that it's kidney friendly whenever we're eating, whether it be at a barbecue or at home. And so building that kind of well-balanced plate of making sure that there's lots of vegetables and fruits. So if you are following a low potassium diet, maybe you choose things like grilled pineapple or eggplant or lettuce, and or things like berries and watermelon. If potassium is not a concern for you, then we want to just be mindful of having a rainbow of colors, right? Opting for those high fiber things like whole grains can be really helpful, like a whole grain bun or brown rice in a salad or whole grain pasta. Add those healthy fats like avocado and olive oil. And of course, we talked about those proteins too. So maybe, your meal looks like a bean burger on a whole grain bun with a salad and maybe a fruit kebab. Some of these things can really be a nice way of balancing out that meal. And whenever we're thinking about some low sodium barbecue tips, I have a little bit of a handout here for you. The first thing is plan ahead, right? Offer to bring a dish that is kidney friendly and meets your needs. And then also you can manage your sodium intake throughout the day. Trying to choose those plant-based proteins, being aware of that portion size, right? That size of our palm if we are having those animal proteins. Watching those sides and seasonings because they can have a bit of salt in them. And then, staying hydrated, right? Be mindful of our fluid intake if we're on a fluid restriction, but also being aware of some of those drink options. So making sure there's not any added phosphorus in those beverages. And maybe you're looking for some ways of developing a kidney-friendly pantry for your barbecue items. I'm just going to share a little resource there as well. So I just wanted to say, 'tis the season for some of these meals, and you certainly can participate in them when you have kidney disease. So I hope this information was helpful for you to plan your upcoming barbecues and cookouts. I would love to hear some of your recipes, so feel free to share them in the comment section of some of your go-to items for these big events. Once again, this information is general. If you are looking for more personalized recommendations, feel free to connect with our team over at kidneynutrition.ca. And always speak with your healthcare team before making any nutrition recommendations. So thank you again for listening, and I hope everyone has a great month.